everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we continue on our Koda Kumi albums marathon and it's time to talk about our second album, Grow Into One. Before we get started, I want to remind you that this is simply my opinion on the album. We'll have different thoughts on it and I'm glad you rate yours in the comment section down below. Grow Into One is the second album of Koda Kumi, released back in 2003, and it contains one of the songs that launched a career a bit further, and if you're a fan of Final Fantasy, then you definitely know the song Real Emotion from Final Fantasy X too. This is, with no surprise, one of the earliest songs that I've heard from her as well, mostly because I remember playing the game at a friend's house and loving it. What surprises me is how pop the song is compared to the rest of the album. Grow Into One pretty much continues on the same path that Affection started, and Real Emotion almost feels a bit out of place, surrounded by all those R&B styled songs. To Be One is another song that manages to get away from the overall musical theme of the album as well, and just like Real Emotion, it offers a nice break. I have to note that the production of the album is getting much better compared to the previous one. Everything just feels a bit more refined, and quality-wise we move on to a better era. You can also fully appreciate how Kumi has worked on her singing technique, and she sounds a lot more confident, and it makes the songs just that much better to listen to. I definitely prefer this album because even when it comes to the music style, because of how well handled everything is, I ended up being focused and enjoying it a lot more than I expected. When it comes to being an R&B album, I think Grow Into One is a really good one. It manages to be efficient and nice to listen to. However, just like for Affection, the album tends to be lost in its own sound, which means that most of the same tropes are being used over and over again on the majority of the songs, which does make the album feel a bit too long at times and quite repetitive. I thought the big ballad of the album, Pearl Moon, offered a much needed break from the album, non-stop R&B songs, and its simplicity with only the piano playing allows us to enjoy Kumi's voice quite a lot. I ended up being surprised by the quality of Grow Into One, which is an album that allows itself to be what it's supposed to be, with better production and songs than the previous one. However, that doesn't stop it from falling into the same traps as Affection established before, when it comes to what now sounds a bit too dated at times. But Kumi's voice is quite the standout on this album, as she sounds well rested and at ease with what she's given. Overall, the album still manages to be quite a decent one, and that's why I give it 3.5 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think of the album down below, and I'll see you tomorrow for my review of Feel My Mind.